they're going to give you your country back without a fight, you are sadly mistaken.
You know, this has been an interesting day at this hearing, listening to Democratic senator after Democratic senator give speeches in praise of the rule of law. And I am heartened by that. I am encouraged by that. Because for 8 years it's been absent.
Yes or no answer to the question, does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
Let me start with the president's tweets yesterday, this idea that maybe President Obama ordered an illegal wiretap of his offices. If something like that happened, would this be something you would be aware of?
There was no such wiretap activity mounted against the president-elect at the time, or as a candidate, or against his campaign.
The FBI, for instance, had a FISA court order of some sort for surveillance. Would that be information you would know or not know?
Yes.
You would be told this?
I would know that.
If there was a FISA court order on something like that. And at this point, you can't confirm or deny whether that exists?
I can deny it.
There is no FISA court order?
Not to my knowledge.
Of anything at Trump Tower?
No.
Was Tashina Gahar, your deputy, or Trisha Anderson involved in any stage of drafting, editing, or approving the 4 FISA applications? Well, did you sign the 4th FISA application?
I approved the filing of a...
Okay, now you say you approved that application.
The Democratic Party has a long history of using violence and intimidation to win elections, going back as far as 1928. Some might argue that there was some kind of mystical shift between the Dixie Democrats and the modern-day Democratic Party. The facts and history fail to support any such claim. But don't let things like facts get in the way. However, in 2016, the nature of the Democratic Party and their ruthlessness in their quest for power reared its ugly head yet again. During the 2016 presidential campaign, the Democratic Party hired and utilized agencies to use violence and intimidation on Americans. They also conspired, and did in fact, commit voter fraud. See for yourself.
And they don't have any belief in law or justice or right and wrong.
Nobody's really supposed to know about me. But the Chicago protest shut all that. That was us.
What we don't need is for it to show up on CNN that the DNC paid for people.
We don't know how this video was gotten. We don't know how it was edited. We don't know whether this was locker room talk. But here's the thing, the DNC says that they have no evidence to suggest that the activities articulated in the video actually occurred.
There are multiple pieces of smoking gun evidence that have been discovered. These new revelations should be making headlines, but won't, because the media's blackout of this video and the denial from the White House and Hillary Clinton, who called it a conspiracy theory after the debate.
You know, I know nothing about this. I'm not, I can't deal with every one of his conspiracy theories.
A couple emails. Remember Zulema Rodriguez? Here she is bragging about shutting down the Trump rally in Chicago, where people, including police officers, were hurt.
So, me and I did the Chicago Trump event where we shut down.
One thing that stands out is she claims to speak to Hillary's campaign and the DNC every day at 1 o'clock.
I just had a call with the campaign and the DNC every day at 1 o'clock.
Now let's go to WikiLeaks and take a look at an email found in the batch of leaked DNC emails. this one from May 2016. Here we find an email sent by Robert Creamer, who is featured in both videos, to another DNC worker, reminding her about the 1 o'clock Trump rapid response phone call that must be made, discussing an upcoming Trump and Pence rally. This matches the activities he described in the hidden camera footage.
And my role in the campaign is to manage all that.
But it doesn't stop there. Digging into the Elections Commission payroll records online, which is not leaked information but material that is openly available, we find payments made to Zulema Rodriguez directly by Hillary's campaign right around the time of the Chicago riots. We have footage of Zulema at the Chicago rally that was shut down due to violence, clearly working very hard for $1,500. And then more footage in Arizona where protesters shut down the highway, as she also boasted about in the video. We're not done yet. Now another very interesting email. This conversation between various DNC workers on May 10th discusses phrases and language they intend to put on signs to maximize outrage among Trump supporters, like GOP plus Trump, dangerous, divisive, and deceitful. And once again, Mr. Creamer makes an appearance, and they discuss the fact that they have been speaking to him about planning an incident at an upcoming Trump event. Now let's go to a clip posted by CNN just a day after this conversation. Pay attention to the signs in the background.
What they're trying to say actually really railing on the issue of immigration reform.
If that wasn't enough, see if you can spot someone who looks familiar here. Does anybody recognize him? Let me jog your memory.
I'm basically Deputy Rapid Response Director for the DNC for all things Trump on the ground.
This guy is Aaron Black. He directs the spontaneous protests at Trump and Pence events.
Thousands of anti-Trump protesters forced Donald Trump to cancel his rally.
Protests erupted. Violent clashes at Donald Trump's rally in California.
This was one of the most violent scenes I have ever witnessed. Trump supporters harassed, beaten, and bloodied by mobs of
biggest and most violent political protest.
Saul Alinsky trained, organized left-wing thugs.
Like 7 more people just come in, start punching me. Carl, I look pretty bad.
As protesters moved in, things got heated.
Lone female Trump supporter tried to stand her ground. Her glasses ripped off, then shoved in her face. A woman wearing a Trump jersey cornered and then egged in the face.
As the crowd grew, police in riot gear lined the sidewalk, giving rally attendees the chance to make it through the end.
Another fistfight's about to break out right now. Then this, a young man running in fear from protesters. This Trump supporter walking with his wife, spat on, bottles thrown at them, then punches.
You have the Clinton campaign that's literally infiltrating these events to try to cause problems at these events, and then the media covers it and reports that Donald Trump's rhetoric is so hateful that it's inciting violence. And this is how corrupt the system really is.